You ever just sit down for an hour and 45 minutes and wonder every second you're watching it, am I missing something? Alright guys, hey, just me tonight. Actually, first time in a while I've had to do a solo review, so hey, I took it as a good thing. But this is the case where I was just gonna see this with Muha, but he had something came up for him, so he had to go take care of that. And I need to go see something because I'm way behind this week because I have my own stuff going on. So I was like, okay, I gotta see something. I'm seeing MIB tomorrow. I don't want to watch Shaft, so I guess I'll go see The Dead Don't Die, which is probably one of those ones. It's one of those like smaller indie movies, or maybe it's not indie. I don't know. Apparently, the director has a bit of a reputation, from what I understand. But excuse me, I'm tired. This movie made me fucking sleepy. That's not a good sign. Yes, The Dead Don't Die. It's supposedly a zombie comedy as Bill Murray and Adam Driver and Tilda Swinton and all actors I typically like. And what this is a weird movie to talk about. It's one of those things. This movie feels so weird the entire time you're watching it. Like it feels like it wants to be like the old school cult Kevin Smith movies, like it's kind of clerking it a little bit, but it also has the dialogue and delivery of a Shyamalan movie, and that everyone talks very dry, very passive, very matter of fact, and the thing is, you can tell, at least I think you can tell, it's deliberate, but you're not quite sure why they're doing it. Like especially a lot of the first act. A lot of the first act feels like it's almost like a student film. Like it feels very low budget. It feels like they didn't really know how to make interesting shots. Everything feels very dry, very boring, and the dialogue is really wooden and just often just repeats itself over and over and over again. And like again, the problem that's the weird part though, is you feel like they did that on purpose. And I'm just wondering, like, did I just get trolled? Like, is this a prank movie? Or am I just really missing something? And it comes clear as the movie goes on. They're going for, and if in case you didn't get it, I think there was a Tom Waits just directly tells you at the end of the movie. Tom Waits in the movie, by the way. He plays, like, what they call him, Hobo Bob. Who was just a guy who is in the forest and occasionally looks at shit through his binoculars and says stuff about whatever's going on. There's a lot of pointless dribble in this movie. Yeah, it's more like how, we're all the zombies, we the consumers, we who take from the world, we're the zombies because we're coasting through life, emotionless and dry and drab and boring, and just like, okay. I get you want to do a thing, movie. I get you want to do a thing. I get that you want to feel smart doing the thing. No, sorry, got a text message. But it also feels like, it's like, okay, well, I've seen that done in a bunch of other movies. Like, Shaun of the Dead did the same fucking thing, like, way smarter and way more clever. But this movie, again, it just feels so meandering. Like, the movie spends so much time with dead air, where, like, no one's talking, everyone's just kind of just standing there. And so much of the movie is this. Like, there's a solid, I feel like you can cut 20 minutes if you just cut out all the dead air and just tighten up the pacing quite a bit. And again, I feel like it's deliberate, but I don't get why. Like, I don't get why these decisions were made. And I'm not familiar with the director's other works at all, so I don't know, like, I don't know what the purpose was. Like, I don't know if it's just how he does things or what. I just know, like, it's a mixture of nothing happening and just weird shit happening. Perfect example, like, early on in the movie, like, they keep playing the stupid original country song they made for the movie over and over and over again that's called The Dead Don't Die. And everyone's like, oh, I love this song. It's such a good song. And I'm like, honestly, I'm not really exaggerating the voices all that much. And then, this is the beginning of the movie, they do this. Like, it tries to be meta at parts, and it just comes out of nowhere. Like, it's not a movie that, like, sets up to be meta, or makes sense to be meta, or anything. So when they make meta jokes, it just feels like, well, what the fuck? I mean, I guess it kind of makes more sense towards the end, but even then, at that point, you just don't care. But anyway, so, like, Adam Driver and Bill Murray are, like, these cops in a small town called Centerville. A nice place to live. I only know because I say it, like, 5 times. You get used to that. There's a lot of lines they just repeat over and over and over again. I guess that's their idea of a joke. Which just, again, it makes me wonder, is like, for a movie that calls itself a zombie comedy, where are the fucking jokes? Like, there's, like, almost no jokes to this movie. And like, their idea of a joke is just saying the same thing over and over. Like, Adam Driver keeps saying, I just got a feeling something bad's about to happen. Like, no. I have a feeling this is going to end badly, and he just says that, and that's the joke. The joke is that he keeps saying it over and over again, and it just gets so, I mean, you can argue that's like the only joke in the movie that actually has a payoff towards the end, but yeah, anyway, I'm getting distracted. So yeah, like, they open up with the song playing on the radio, which is on station 911, and the song plays up, and I forget the exact line that leads into it, but there's a point where just Bill Murray just says, no, I remember. It's like, Bill Murray says, like, this sounds so familiar. Why does this sound so familiar? And Adam Driver just goes, well, that's because it's the theme song. And again, at that point, there's no build-up to, like, the meta narrative at all. Like, the characters don't seem self-aware. So it's almost self-awareness seems to come right the fuck out of nowhere, and it's really jarring. And then we're introduced to a bunch of other characters who end up really going nowhere. A lot of them die before they have any real significance on the plot, or have anything meaningful to say, or do, or have any meaningful part of the narrative at all. Like, the movie makes a point of mentioning that Selena Gomez is in the movie, and she's in the movie, but she's in exactly, like, I want to say 3 scenes, and they set, like, something up between him and, like, her and Adam Driver, and then, the zombie stuff happens, we cut back to them later, and they got killed off screen. They're just dead now. It's like, well, that was fucking pointless. We wasted a lot of time in scenes on these characters that end up going absolutely nowhere. Which it makes me again wonder, am I being punked? What is this movie? Oh god, I didn't realize how angry I'm getting until I start talking about it. And there's a lot of characters like this. Like, there's Bobby, the weird guy who works at the gas and comic book store, I guess, which is kind of a weird amalgamation, but whatever. And he ends up, like, caged in with the hardware guy, and they maybe have a couple scenes together, and then they die. So it's like, okay, well, their whole thing was completely pointless now, because, like, it's not like they do or say something meaningful and then they die. It's just more like, oh, Bobby, we finally got this door blocked off. Ah, no. I know those 2 zombies we killed earlier. They died a couple years ago. Oh yeah, I recognize them. Oh no, Bobby, we forgot to board up the back door. There are too many of them, Bobby. Oh no! And that's, like, the most they contribute. Meanwhile, there's, like, and the movie is, again, I just feel like I'm being punked watching this movie, because there's so many weird decisions from what it seems like a relatively seasoned director. So these choices in the directing and screen and the script feel weird. Like the whole thing that causes this apparently is well, hold on, before we could actually cause this, we're first told, wow, it was like 8:30. It's so weird the sun comes up, and yep. And then we cut to another pair of characters, and they share the exact same information. We cut to another set of characters. They share the exact same information, almost word for word. And then we cut to another characters, and then they shared that same exact information. Just in case it wasn't clear to you that the sun is up and it should not be up, that's why. And then, oh no, like, now you have that information. And this happens multiple times in the first act. And again, I feel like I'm being tricked. Like, I feel like this is a practical joke movie. Like, that's why I'm like, I feel like I'm missing something here. What is the joke? Is the joke that they keep saying over and over, is that their idea of a joke? Because if so, what's the punchline? That they all can spout awkward exposition dialogue? That's not funny. It feels like it's trying really hard to be a cult movie, and maybe it'll get there, maybe it won't, but it feels like it's trying way too hard. and it's just obnoxious, meandering, and annoying. Like, it's really the best I can put it. This movie's really annoying. Now that I'm talking about it, and I'm more awake now, because I'm not gonna lie, I almost fell asleep watching this thing. I just like, what is happening? What is the point of any of this? I mean, nah, that's not true. I get what they were going for. Like, I get the point. But it's more like the way it's done is just slapdash and lazy. But is it lazy though? I don't know with this movie. I just don't know. Fuck. So, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and like other characters. There's these kids in like this, juvenile detention area that movie keeps cutting back to, and then they get out of the detention area later, and then we never see them again. And all they do when they talk to each other is just say the same exposition stuff that 5 other pairs of characters have already set up to this point. What were the point of those characters? Why were they there? What purpose did they serve? They just disappear. They're gone from the fucking movie. Why were they there? I don't get this movie. Fuck. And Steve Buscemi's in this. There's so many A-list actors who are just not giving anything, like, just not doing much at all in the movie. Steve Buscemi, God bless him, is one of the few ones that I actually feel like he's trying a bit. But this movie also tries to make a lot of social commentary, and it just really forced and not funny and not interesting and just so on the nose that it doesn't really have much. It's not as smart as it thinks it is. Or maybe it doesn't think it's smart. I don't fucking know. Because when we meet Steve Buscemi's character, apparently he's like this asshole farmer. His name was Farmer Dave. That's what his name was. That's because it led to that name led to the only part that made me laugh. And when you're introduced to him, he's in a diner. He's wearing the red MAGA hat, except it says "Make America White Again." You get it? Because Donald Trump's a racist. Ha ha ha. And if you didn't get that joke, there's a part later on, like in that same scene, where the owner of the diner said, like, "Do you want you want some coffee to go?" And he goes, "Nah, it's way too black for me." As he turns over to the only black character in the movie. I meant, like, the coffee's just really strong. Like, ha, ha, ha. It's funny because he's racist. Okay. Whatever. He dies off screen. So much wasted time on characters that end up doing nothing. And then, like, the only interesting character this movie has is Tilda Swinton, who is, like, this mortician who's also, like, a samurai and... spoiler, who also turns out to be an alien at the end of the movie. She's the most interesting character in the movie, and that also ends up going nowhere. Because then she goes back in her space, she gets picked up by her alien friends, and she's just gone from the movie. And I'm sure it's some larger point about society and all that, but it just comes on a point. It's so meandering and like dull. You just don't give a shit, and it's not funny. It's supposed to be a comedy. Where's the fucking jokes? And, like, there are only 2 jokes. Like, one of them Jimmy laughed at. One could have worked, and then run into the ground right after. The first joke goes back to, like, the Farmer Dave thing, where it opens up when it turns out, like, Bill Murray and Adam Driver are bothering Hobo Bob because Farmer Dave accused him of stealing one of his chickens. And then when they're driving back, Bill Murray just said something like, "Man, Farmer Dave is such an asshole," or something to that extent. And then when they find out that zombies are taking over the town, Adam Driver turns Bill Murray as they're driving around, and they just go like, you know, it's kind of like, aren't we supposed to be like driving around and warning people about the zombies? Bill Murray goes, yeah. Well, we just passed Farmer Dave's place over there, back there, and then Bill Murray just turns to Adam Driver and just goes, "Fuck Farmer Dave," and I was like, okay, that was kind of funny. It's not even a really like original joke. It just it was like the one time the monotone of it actually kind of worked in its favor. And the only other joke that kind of worked is the actual payoff to the Adam Driver that keeps saying, "This is gonna end badly" over and over again. When Bill Murray just says, "Why do you keep saying that?" And Adam Driver just goes, "Well, I read the script." It was like, if they just left it right there, that might have been kind of funny. But then they keep going in that same dull, meandering, just doesn't know when to stop tone that it's been going for up to that point, and you're just like, okay, you ruined it. You ruined a perfectly good joke. Fuck, that's it, man. That's like all I have to say about this. This movie feels like it's trying to be deep or meaningful, or maybe I'm just being trolled, or like I feel like I'm just missing something. Either way, I didn't like it. I did not enjoy this. I did not have a good time. Like, this movie, like, I don't think it's a movie I'd enjoy, even if I fully understood what it was going for. It's just more like, well, I just wasted an hour and 45 of my life that I could have been watching, like, Toy Story 4 or playing Crash Team Racing or something. But no, I'm doing this instead. So, yay. Hurrah, hooray. Fucking hell. Yeah, I'm going home. I'm tired. I just want to go home, man. Oh, fuck. So yeah, that's all I got. Most of the trailers are stuff I got before, so I'm not gonna bother going over them again. Tomorrow, me and Matt are gonna check out Men in Black, so hopefully, even if it's bad, at least it'll have, like, maybe it'll be more entertaining at the very least, or at least have more personality or energy. Yeah, I'm sure, like, the people, like, I don't know this director's style. I don't know if he has, like, a big fan base out there or what. But if this is, if this is kind of, if you just want, like, a meandering, monotone drag, then I guess this is for you. But I'm really sad I didn't go see Shaft. So, yeah, we'll be back with Men in Black tomorrow, and the next week is, like, Toy Story 4 and, Child's Play, I think. So, yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.